UGC moms, pet UGC moms over 40 on iPhone 17. Okay, so first of all, if you already joined my previous workshop, you're already familiar why we're building those Freedom Fusion automations like Threads Pet Automator, Threads YouTube Pet Automator, TikTok Pet Automator, why we're building it, who our audience is. So now that you're more familiar with that, I wanted to tell you and give you a little bit more specifications for why you would want to of course you already know the reason why you want to build it, so this way we can make some money together, but also I wanted to give you the specifications for how to build it, so this way you alleviate the pain for many moms over 40 who are struggling to create pet content on social platforms like Threads. And Threads is owned by Meta, as you guys know, and the way it works is here's the specifications for Threads Pet Automator. Effectively, what works really well is when you have multiple accounts, when you have multiple Threads accounts, and each Threads account is participating in certain set of activities. Those are the set of activities is what we're going to automate with Threads Pet Automator using iPhone 17 shortcuts. As you guys know, iPhone 17 has Apple Intelligence built in, and just like it doesn't even have to be iPhone 17, it could be iPhone 16, 15, etc. But the idea behind it is relatively simple. Here's the specifications. This workshop is all about me providing the specifications for what you're going to include in Threads Pet Automator. Now, once we finish building this Threads Pet Automator, we're going to list it as part of the sales page and make some money with it. Now, of course, guys, it will take a little bit of time. It will take some back and forth, adding all sorts of ASMR elements, all sorts of features, but here's what it's gonna do. Here's what Threads Pet Automator gonna do. UGC pet mom over 40 creator presses a button. When she presses a button, certain activities take place. One of those activities is Threads is gonna open up, and it's gonna guide this mom over 40 for how to create a thread based on the content in her camera roll. Okay, so many moms over 40, they have lots of pictures, they have lots of videos in their camera roll. So the first thing obviously is going to be guiding that mom over 40, pet UGC creator mom over 40, for how to create a thread. And so that's going to be part of the automation. And of course, during that part, there's before I describe what's inside of that part, there's another part that has to do with promoting this thread across multiple Threads accounts using native Threads features. Okay, so that's the other part of it. So how do we do the first part? The first part needs to auto suggest, it needs to auto recommend, it needs to take input in a form of dictated text, it needs to have all sorts of screenshots capabilities from Apple Intelligence, where a mom over 40 can take a screenshot of a viral comment and include it inside of a specific video, inside of a specific thread. So this way, this Threads Pet Automator has multiple functions. The functions of posting the threads and the function of participating in threads. Okay, so when it comes to posting in threads, what we want to do, we want to recommend based on whatever the content that mom has inside of her camera roll. We want to recommend like what to say inside of the thread. Okay, and granted, sure, specific video may already have some context already inside of the video that this mom over 40 managed to create. We wanted to grab that context too, but at the same time we want to overlay our own context in a form of text, where we want to say, hey, what is this video all about? Go ahead and dictate what the video is all about. So this way, when any of those moms over 40 adding content into trying to create threads, they could quickly talk about what this video, what kind of video they want to show on Threads and what it has, and that context needs to be summarized, converted into descriptions, titles, mixed together with whatever is inside of the video, and also it needs to like include hashtags and all the other, well, like it needs to include whatever the native features are of Threads, meaning topics, etc., and what to say for the top thread, what to say for the next follow-up threads, and it needs to be like a common bait generated kind of types of so it needs to show a bunch of comments that could be included that would encourage people to respond back to threads. So it needs to have bait comment feature. So when the thread gets created, it needs to be explicitly told for like what to do. Okay, so it needs to explicitly tell that mom over 40 that look, thread is created. You go ahead and like click here and click to the upload this, share this thread into a group, common chat group, and that's the common chat group that where other freedom founders get to be participating in promoting your brand, and people would be blasting each other's threads inside of that group, inside of a group who are positioned in a way to include your brand in a mix. So let's say if I have a Jack's Paws brand and another freedom founder decided to promote it and also include their content in the mix, then they could be part of that group. Okay, so that group is a group chat internal feature inside of Threads, and the idea is it needs to guide moms over 40 for how to update that group chat and how to jump across and switch accounts, and how to switch Threads accounts, and how to jump across multiple threads in order to just get your that's seen. Okay guys, so because when you repost content, when you share content, it's going to be seen, the thread is going to be seen a lot more versus when you don't do that, where like thread is just not being seen. So the idea is what you need to do inside of that automation, you're going to need to start off with assumptions. The assumptions are there's a bunch of Threads accounts already created, and if not, you just kind of explain that you need to create a couple of Threads accounts first and kind of include, but don't skew off the automation in that direction too much. Just focus on the assumptions that people already have a bunch of Threads accounts and they're using this group chat. If they want to be part of that Jack's Paws group chat and share and reshare Jack's Paws content in combination with your own content, then definitely join as into a cohort of freedom founders. Okay, the freedom founders who be promoting each other's content and helping each other out, boost that content. Why? Because they're gonna have their content integrated with our content. Okay, so for example, let's say somebody has a product and they wanted to include Jack's Paws product. They wanted to include Jack's Paws content in their own product. They could mention something like, they could create a video including like using notebook lamp style and combine that video with Jack's Paws brand in some type of content. By doing that, they're creating an offer. So the idea is, what you want to do, you want to automate the whole concept of, hey, this is how you could combine Jack's Paws together with your offer. And so the automation needs to build an offer, help with building an offer, so this way they could use that offer in their group chat. Okay, so this way they have a reason for other people who are also part of Jack's Paws to go ahead and promote it. Okay, so like design automation and such in this way, so it makes it easier for people to join. It makes it easier for people to understand the reason why they'd want to promote somebody else's content inside of Jack's Paws Threads channel. Okay, so for example, let's say there's another brand that sells slinkers, pet slinkers, and they want to include Jack's Paws content. They could mention something like, here's my content and here's Jack's Paws, and here's a video of Jack's Paws using something like, maybe not exactly slinkers, but mentioning something about Jack's Paws, referencing Jack's Paws as a brand. Is that many brands, including including slinkers, using many dogs, including slinkers, inside of a using slinkers. Many dog owners using slinkers to pet the dogs or that kind of stuff. But AI is going to generate those angles. Not necessarily you have to think how to generate them. You just have to introduce the automation angles for how to do that. You just have to create the reasonings for people to be wanting to share Jack Spa's content. So what you're going to do, you're going to morph those automations in such a way that gives them the reason for how to gives them the reason to go ahead and promote Jack Spa's. Okay, guys, and be able to share that in Threads, Threads group chat, and that group chat happens to be Jack Spa's. Okay, so how does that work? Where is that group chat? That group chat is obviously on Threads, and how do you envision this automation? It needs to be not overwhelming, not too many steps in one visual. It needs to have notifications using iPhone shortcuts. It needs to have notifications. It needs to have ASMR elements. It needs to have dictation to take input. It needs to have speaker text. It needs to have other types of features, workflows inside of Threads beyond just posting, but for participating in other people's threads by taking a screenshot of a thread and responding to a specific comment. And I already have some of those workshops. You could some of those automations you could build upon them, that takes a screenshot of a particular thread, picks the most viral comment, and then you could and gives you the response back that you could respond right away and include your offer in combination with Jack Spa's offer in a mix. So the idea here is to mix, for you to create like a mixer that's gonna give people reason to introduce Jack Spa's brand. Now, like, look, the other way that we could do this is we could also just go out and include inside of Jack's, include somebody else's video, create a video or use an existing video that is highly relevant to a particular brand, and show that video to a brand. And then when we get to see some sort of insights that the brand is interested to work with us, then we could create more kind of videos and get them on a retainer, that kind of stuff, or per video types of contract or any other kind of stuff. But like the most important part out of the Threads Pet responder is the fact that there needs to be content that allows the creation of content, but not just a creation of content, but initially, yes, sure, just a basic creation of content, then expansion of this automation to include actual Jack Spa's content together with whatever the brand, whatever the video has. So the way it sounds, the ways it could be like this: here's a bunch of videos from Jack Spa's. Now go ahead and describe the video, like describe your video, and then here's how it relates to this particular video, that kind of stuff. So you want to bake that in a mix. So where you already include a description of a video from Jack Spa's, and this way automation has that context, and you're mixing that together with automation, with the context of another video to produce a singular video, to produce multiple threads in an offer, and to produce basically a thread that includes combination of that Jack Spa's content and your own brand. Okay, now all of that needs to be explained to brands, UGC pet brands as well, which is going to be another angle. But the first angle needs to be like, hey, this is how we target pet UGC creators. Here's what we do. Here's why they use it. Here's why pet UGC creators combine their own videos together with ours. Here's the reason why. That's the first thing. First Threads bot responder that you need to indicate. So, like, explaining the reasonings behind why the hell would other people, freedom founders, would be interested in promoting your brand. Like, this is the biggest reason why misalign themselves. They don't understand why would another UGC creator be promoting their brand. So, and why would and another part is like, how can UGC creators be promoting each other's brands, like each other's content, to stand out, to better stand out in front of the brands. So there's this concept of, hey, let's say there's two freedom founders, two AI pet UGC creators, moms over 40, working with one another to position themselves in front of a brand to make extra income. How do we make that happen? What do we need to include inside of that automation? Threads Pet Automator for it to really register. How do we make that work? Okay, so that's the kind of essence of this. So the idea is, we got freedom founders and we got feudal lords, and we got gamified cohorts. Those gamified cohorts includes games like Threads, Threads Kid, Threads Run Man, all those different games, social games, and people can join those games by working together towards a common goal. And that common goal happens to be getting connected with brands, making more money from that content from brands, and of course participating in games like Threads Kid Bowl or Threads Run Man, of repurposing each other's threads, but also creating a reason for them to play that game, to join the gamified cohorts, and make that a reality. So in simple words, people just won't use Freedom Fusion automations for no reason. They would be using them for a reason, and that reason is to get better position in front of the brands, get more deals, brand deals, and possibly one day maybe even sell your own products. But the hyper focus is not per se so much on trying to sell a product, but rather where you don't need to sell. So that's kind of the angle we're taking. Join Jack Spa system where you don't even need to sell. Okay, where you don't even need to sell. How? Here's how. Here's a tools, Freedom Fusion automations that you're going to be using. One of them is going to be Threads Pet Responder, Threads TikTok Pet Responder, YouTube Pet Responder, or should I say Automator. So that's the idea. Now, hopefully that makes sense. Guys, if it doesn't make any sense, definitely re-listen to this entire workshop. It provides complete specifications for you for how to build Threads Pet Automator. Once you build it, it's going to be it's going to be smooth sailing. Now, what I just described is going to be almost impossible for you to understand unless you put it in Notebook LM and literally just use it in Notebook LM. Okay, guys? So that's kind of the main thing that you got to understand. Okay? So use it in Notebook LM, this presentation, and go over it. Okay? I'll see you next time, and take care.